Hello everyone, welcome to this first module of Safer Spaces in Improv. And this first module is called Building Safer Spaces. And we're going to talk a lot about how to create the infrastructure, the systems that will allow to enforce safer spaces in your theater, in your class, in whatever you want to apply it to. So to give you just like a quick overview of the whole module, so we're going to talk about like taking an inventory of what your space is like currently. And then we'll talk about how to gather a team of people, and then talking about writing a code of conduct to kind of like set up your values and have an idea and agreement with your team of what you think is okay and not okay in your space. And then we're going to talk about creating reporting systems so that people can easily reach out to you if those values aren't respected. And lastly, we're going to talk about creating record systems so that you keep a trace of everything that happens in your space, keep a trace of your decision, and so on. First, I want to give you like a quick notion about important things that I want you to think about. And the first thing is the difference between safety and the feeling of safety. Both of those things are really important, but I always want you to focus a little more on safety rather than the feeling of safety. And what I mean by that is if you think of two buildings and there's a glass bridge in between the two buildings that you can walk through, it might feel very unsafe because the floor might be see-through and you might have vertigo and you might feel very unsafe, but the building is probably very strong and you can probably jump on it and dance in it, and it'd be totally fine. So you might feel unsafe, but actually be safe. And inversely, you can be walking in your neighborhood with your friendly neighbors waving at you, and you're not realizing that just above you there's a piano that's being moved in an apartment building and the rope is on its last bit and you haven't seen it and it's ready to fall on you, and so you're actually not safe, but you might feel very safe. And this situation is definitely not as good as the previous one. So you always want to be to focus more on safety than the feeling of safety. But both are really important, because if you don't also work on giving the feeling of safety, then people might not want to enter your space at all and think the space is not made for them. So you want to work on those two things. The second thing I want to tell you about is that you're going to have to make choices about who you include in your space. And that means that you can't design a space that will make everybody feel comfortable. You will have to prioritize certain groups. For example, you cannot have a space where both homophobic people and gay people can coexist and be at peace. So you will have to make some decision about who you want to prioritize. And that can be a little scary. But that's okay. The importance is that you own it, and also that you create that maybe in your city or in your area there's a diversity of spaces that make slightly different decisions and prioritize different groups so that everybody can find the place that works for them. So that's for the introduction, and then we're going to move on to talk a little more about why it's important to create safer spaces and what are the benefits of doing so.